The flashing red and blue lights cut through the night. A police siren blared. A black man named Daniel Carter pulled over slowly. He had no idea that in the next 5 minutes, this traffic stop would make national news. If you're passionate about seeing justice served, then this journey is for you. Please like and share this video or subscribe to my channel to stay updated. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell and watch until the very end. Most importantly, let us know where you're watching from by dropping your city in the comments section. Daniel was 34. Calm, well-dressed, driving home from a charity gala. But in this small rural town, he stood out, especially to Officer Rick Harlow, a man with a reputation, known for his attitude toward black drivers. Harlow approached the window with a smirk. "License and registration," he said sharply. Daniel handed them over. Harlow glanced at the ID. Then he laughed. Not a normal laugh, a mocking one. "This your ID?" he scoffed. "It says Special Federal Identification? What are you, some kind of secret agent?" Daniel stayed calm. "Yes, officer, it's authentic." But Harlow wasn't buying it. He called it fake. He accused Daniel of impersonating a federal official. He even started calling for backup. "You're in big trouble," he grinned. "People like you think you can play the system. Not tonight." Daniel's voice stayed steady. "Officer, I suggest you run the ID through your system. You'll want to be sure before making assumptions." Harlow rolled his eyes. "This is my town. I don't need to run anything." Backup arrived. 2 more officers. The situation was tense. Daniel was ordered out of the car. Harlow held the ID up like a trophy. "Look at this joke," he told the other officers. Then, one officer decided to scan it, just for laughs. 30 seconds later, his face turned white. Rick, you need to see this." The ID came back valid, issued by the Office of the President of the United States. Daniel Carter wasn't a regular citizen. He was a special presidential envoy, appointed for high-level diplomatic missions. The signature on the ID, the president's. Harlow's smirk vanished. His hands began to shake. Daniel stepped closer. "Now, officer, are you still sure you don't need to run anything?" One of the backup officers quickly removed Harlow's hand from Daniel's arm. "Sir, we apologize for the misunderstanding," he said nervously. But Daniel wasn't letting it slide. "You just profiled a federal envoy. You laughed at my credentials, and you tried to arrest me for existing in your town." Harlow stuttered. I didn't mean—" Daniel cut him off. "Save it. You'll explain yourself to people much higher than me." Within hours, dashcam footage was on the desk of the state attorney general. By morning, the Department of Justice was involved. Harlow's badge was suspended. An investigation was launched. The mayor released a statement condemning the behavior. News crews camped outside the police station. For years, people whispered about Harlow's traffic stops, but no one ever had proof until now. Daniel became a quiet hero in town, not for his title, but for standing his ground when it mattered most. Daniel never raised his voice. He never made a scene. He let the truth speak louder than any badge. Because at that moment, justice wasn't just served, it was delivered with the president's signature. But just when Daniel thought it was over, a letter arrived at his home. No return address. Inside was a single sheet of paper. On it were the words, "This isn't over." Last time, Daniel Carter exposed a racist cop who mocked his presidential ID. That cop got suspended. Justice was served, or so Daniel thought. until a letter arrived at his home. No return address. Inside were 3 words: "This isn't over." Daniel stared at the paper. The handwriting was messy, but deliberate, like someone wanted him to know they were angry. He looked out his window. A black SUV sat across the street, engine running, windows tinted. When he stepped towards the glass, the SUV pulled away, slowly, like it didn't care if he saw. The next morning, Daniel's phone buzzed. Unknown number. When he answered, no one spoke. Just breathing. Heavy. Slow. Then, click. Call ended. Within hours, he noticed scratches near his car door. Not random. Someone had keyed the word liar into the paint. He reported it to local police, the same department Harlow once worked for. They took the report, but Daniel could tell from their faces they weren't going to do anything. Daniel decided to investigate himself. He called a friend inside Federal Security Services. They traced the letter's paper stock. It was government issue, the kind used for internal police memos. Meaning, whoever sent the note wasn't just a random hater. It was someone inside law enforcement. 2 days later, Daniel got an email. Subject line, "Meet me if you want the truth." The location? A rundown diner on the edge of town. When he arrived, a man in plain clothes sat in the corner, face tense, hands shaking. "I can't stay long," he whispered. "I used to work with Harlow. And what you don't know is that Harlow was never working alone." Daniel leaned in. "What are you saying?" He slid a small envelope across the table. Inside were photographs. One showed Harlow standing with 3 other men. All wore badges, all from different precincts. And in the background was the same black SUV that had been outside Daniel's house. The man continued. "They call themselves the Brotherhood, a network of officers who protect each other and go after anyone who threatens them." Harlow's suspension? They saw it as your fault. They don't forgive. They don't forget. Before Daniel could ask more, the man's phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen, froze, and stood. "They found me. I can't see with you." He walked out without looking back. Daniel looked through the window and saw the black SUV parked across the street again. By nightfall, Daniel's house alarm went off. Glass shattered. He rushed downstairs. Nothing was stolen, but in the center of his living room floor was a single police badge. Not Harlow's. Another name he didn't recognize. But taped to the back was a flash drive. Daniel plugged it into his laptop. Inside were video files, body cam footage. Only these weren't from his encounter. They showed traffic stops, all involving black drivers, all ending in intimidation or worse. And in every clip, Harlow was there, or one of the other men from the photograph. This wasn't just misconduct. This was systematic targeting. Before Daniel could even copy the files, his screen went black. A message flashed. "You shouldn't have seen this." Then, his phone lit up. Unknown number. This time, a voice. "You thought embarrassing Harlow was the end? We run deeper than you can imagine. And now, you're part of the game." Daniel sat in the dark, heart pounding. He realized this wasn't just about one corrupt cop anymore. It was about an entire hidden network. And now, they had made it personal. Because the next morning, a package arrived at his door. Inside was a photo of his mother, taken yesterday while she was walking alone. No note this time, just the picture. Last time, Daniel Carter thought exposing one corrupt cop was enough. He was wrong. A secret network called the Brotherhood had marked him. And their latest message? A photo of his mother, taken in secret. Daniel stared at the picture. His hands trembled. He'd spent years in dangerous situations, but nothing hit harder than this. He called his mother immediately. She sounded calm, but admitted she had noticed a man watching her at the grocery store. She thought it was just paranoia. It wasn't. That night, Daniel's security cameras caught movement. 2 figures, both wearing hoodies. One spray-painted X across his front door. The other planted something under his car. When Daniel checked in the morning, it was a GPS tracker. They weren't just watching him. They were tracking everywhere he went. Daniel called in a favor from an old contact at the Department of Justice.
She agreed to meet in person. No phones. At the meeting, she leaned in and whispered, "You're in over your head. The Brotherhood has connections in local and federal law enforcement. We've been building a case for years, but if they know you have evidence, they'll move to silence you." She handed him a burner phone. "If you get this call, run. Don't go home. Don't tell anyone." The next morning, Daniel opened his laptop to find dozens of missed messages from friends. His name was trending, but not for the reason he wanted. An anonymous account had posted edited body cam footage, making it look like Daniel was the aggressor in his encounter with Harlow. Fake witnesses came forward online. The hate mail poured in. The Brotherhood wasn't just threatening him now. They were destroying his reputation. That night, Daniel was driving home when the burner phone rang. No greeting, just one word: run. He spotted headlights in his rearview mirror. 2 black SUVs, speeding up, closing in. He swerved onto a side road. One SUV cut him off. The other blocked the back. A man stepped out. It was Harlow. But now, he wasn't wearing a uniform. He was smiling. "Thought you could take us down?" Harlow said. "You just poked the wrong nest." Daniel kept his hands visible. "I've already sent the files to multiple people," he lied. Harlow's smile faded. For a split second, uncertainty flashed across his face. Daniel took the chance. He floored the gas, clipping Harlow as he swerved past. Tires screeched, bullets shattered his back window. He didn't stop driving until he reached a safe house, one only his DOJ contact knew about. The DOJ contact arrived hours later. She looked shaken. "We've confirmed it. The Brotherhood isn't just local. We've tied them to cases in 6 states. Daniel stared. "That means we can take them down." She shook her head. "Not yet. They've got people in every level of law enforcement, and now they know where you sleep." She slid a manila folder across the table. Inside was an unmarked passport and 2 plane tickets. "You're going off the grid until we're ready to move," she said. "Trust no one. Not even me." Daniel opened his mouth to protest, but then he saw the last page in the folder. It was another photograph. This time, of him. Taken that same morning, from inside the safe house. Daniel realized the truth. There was no safe place. The Brotherhood was always one step ahead, and if he didn't find out who their leader was soon, it wouldn't just be his life on the line. Last time, Daniel discovered the Brotherhood had infiltrated every level of law enforcement. Even the safe house wasn't safe. The final photo in that folder, it was taken that morning. From inside the house. Daniel ripped through the safe house, searching for hidden cameras. Nothing. Whoever took that photo was in here while he slept. The DOJ contact grabbed her gun. "Pack your things, now." But Daniel noticed something. On the photo, a faint reflection in the glass door. It was her. Daniel's stomach dropped. "Why?" he asked. Her eyes darted to the door. "You have no idea how powerful they are." Daniel stepped back. "Your brotherhood?" She didn't answer, but she reached into her jacket. Before she could pull the trigger, a deafening bang echoed through the safe house. She collapsed, blood spreading across the floor. Behind her stood a man Daniel hadn't seen in years. It was Marcus, Daniel's childhood friend, the one who disappeared after joining the military. "I've been tracking them since Iraq," Marcus said. "They call themselves the Brotherhood now, but they've existed for decades. And they're not just cops. They own judges, politicians, CEOs." Daniel asked the only question that mattered. "Who's the leader?" Marcus's face hardened. "You're not ready for that name." Marcus opened a laptop and pulled up an encrypted file. Inside were hundreds of names, each one tied to bribery, false arrests, disappearances. At the top was a signature Daniel recognized instantly. The same signature on his special ID. The President of the United States. Daniel's mind raced. If the President signed my ID, and he's their leader, does that mean... Marcus cut him off. "It means your protection was never real. You were a pawn in their game. And now, they've decided you're expendable." Daniel felt a cold wave wash over him. Every arrest, every case, every win was just them moving pieces on a chessboard. Marcus slid a flash drive across the table. "On here is everything we need to burn them down. But once we release it, we're targets for life." Daniel hesitated. "What's on it?" Marcus looked him in the eye. "The names of everyone in the Brotherhood, and the truth about your father's death." Before Daniel could respond, glass shattered, flashbangs exploded, masked men stormed the room. Red laser sights danced across Daniel's chest. A voice came over the loudspeaker. "Daniel Carter, the President would like to see you." Last time, Daniel learned the Brotherhood's leader was the President himself. Now armed men have stormed the safe house, and Daniel's being taken straight to the Oval Office. They didn't cuff him. They didn't blindfold him. That was worse, because it meant they didn't think he'd leave alive. The convoy moved in silence through DC's empty midnight streets. Inside, Daniel clutched the flash drive Marcus had slipped into his sleeve, seconds before they were separated. The doors swung open. The President sat behind the resolute desk, smiling like an old friend. "Daniel Carter, you've been a very, resourceful distraction." Daniel stared at him. "You ordered my father's death." The President leaned back. "Your father was one of us, until he wasn't." The President slid a leather folder across the desk. "Join me. Lead the Brotherhood when I'm gone. Power beyond anything you've imagined." Daniel glanced at the folder and saw his father's handwriting inside. Notes, operations, kill lists. It was the truth he'd chased for years, served to him like bait. Daniel smiled faintly. "I'll take it." The President's grin widened. Wise man. He shook his hand, and in that moment, the flash drive, still hidden in his palm, slipped into the President's jacket pocket. What the President didn't know was that the drive was broadcasting live. Every file, every name, every crime. From newsrooms to FBI servers, the Brotherhood's secrets were spilling into the world in real time. Daniel leaned in and whispered, "Your last move was shaking my hand." Within minutes, phones buzzed across the West Wing. Agents stormed in. The president's own security detail turned their guns on him. "By order of the Department of Justice, you are under arrest." The man who controlled a nation was led away in handcuffs. Daniel walked out into the cool night air. The city was quiet. Justice had cost him everything: his father, his peace, his anonymity. But it was worth it, because power can hide many evils until the right hand takes it all away. As Daniel disappeared into the crowd, a phone buzzed in his pocket. A single text message read, "You think you've killed the Brotherhood? We were never just in America." If you believe justice was served, then let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more stories.